Just out of curiosity, just a show of hands. How many people in here have someone's behavior in the workplace that you would like to change? Raise your hands. Excellent. How many of them think that the people you just raised your hands about are saying the same thing about you? Raise your hands. The change agent that you have the capacity of being, is very much the same change agent that you have the capacity of being in all parts of your life. We're talking about institutions here. We're talking about organizations. We're talking about exponential transformation. But at the end of the day, it's about people and people. People change. Organizations do not change. People do, and it's tough. So the first thing that you've got to recognize as a change agent in an organization, that your job is to align relationships to workflow. If you wait for somebody to meet you halfway, you will not achieve change. Sometimes you have to go 99.9% of the way to them to coax, cajole, and influence them over to halfway. And this is interesting. How many of us, let me ask you a different question. How many of you are married relatively happily? Raise your hands. Okay, good. How many of you have learned that to have a good weekend and do what you want to do, that being right is not the answer? Raise your hands. Okay, so with that in mind, you've already learned that sometimes you have to go 99.9% of the way and bring somebody over. You can't wait there for them to meet you halfway to get your way. Is that reasonable? But why when we come to work, we don't think that way? Why when we come to work, we think that everybody's a rational human being? Why do we come to work? Do we believe that we have the authority to stay up on a podium and be right? None of you have the authority to be right. People will change for their tribe. People will change within us. They will never change within us and them. And as soon as you begin to create an us and them boundary between yourself and the individuals you want to change, you've lost their capacity to change. Your ability to say to an organization, I'm struggling as a leader in the following ways, and I hope that I'll be able to achieve the kind of success that you need from me, but I'm also open to your input. And now here are the things that I need to change, here are the things I think you need to change, and let's go on this journey together. It's a very powerful tool for leadership, and it's unused all too frequently. Now, who has the practices that are actually the future practices? The answer is no one. But there are some people in your organization that we call role models that probably do, and those are the ones you want to begin to gather early in the process to begin to identify what the practices are for the rest of the organization. Don't worry about baking your plan internally and shipping it broadly to everybody. The one thing we've learned about change is that change happens, as John was saying, change happens by a set of few evangelists at the beginning. The only form of real transformation comes in doing.